Welcome to the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose with Brittany Bigley. The Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose is part of the Live Bigley community, giving you the resources and knowledge to help you live the life you were born to lead. Hello, I am Brittany Bigley coming to you with the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose, and today I wanted to jump on and talk to you about the power of surrender. I have talked about surrendering before. I have talked about surrendering into the things that you are trying to avoid, and I just want to jump on and talk about another story, like an experience that really solidifies this, and really almost like surrendering, how the power of surrender opens up a portal towards being in alignment with your authentic self, being in alignment with taking aligned action in your life. And so to demonstrate this, I want to talk about a story that happened to me this week. So I was at work. I'm currently a teacher at a local high school, and I was at work and there was just this feeling of, I want to avoid and escape and go off campus to go get myself a iced beverage. And I was very close to doing it when all of a sudden I just felt like I was like, why am I avoiding? What am I trying to avoid? And if I were to really try to pinpoint it down, maybe there was like this restlessness of energy that I just couldn't shake. And so I'm like, okay, let me remove myself from the environment so that I can not feel so restless. But when I stayed with it, what happened is that I stayed with it. I didn't allow myself to escape the environment, to escape the feeling, to go off campus, to then indulge myself and my senses in a beverage. And again, I've talked about how I've used eating as a way to escape or avoid feelings. And so when I actually stayed with myself, what I found was I actually put myself in alignment with what I needed to do in that moment. And so staying with myself, being present with those feelings, what actually happened is I ran into a person that I didn't know I needed to run into. But there's this particular student that I've been having, I haven't been having challenges with, but I've been watching this student have challenges in kind of doing the same thing. They've been avoiding the classroom. They've been avoiding the task of doing their work in the classroom, and just could not, and also had an iPad that they weren't supposed to be having to be able to text other people during the day. And when I was just followed my impulse, my intuitive impulse to walk into the hallway, and I ended up seeing this student with their grandmother. And then I noticed the student. I was like, oh, that's interesting. This student's out of class. Like they have been in the past week, and maybe I need to address that. But I just kind of watched and observed, and I realized that student was with their grandmother. And then I went to introduce myself. I said, oh, are you the grandmother of so-and-so? She's like, yes, I am. And I was like, oh, I'm Miss Bigley. So great to meet you. I actually would love to talk to you. And so then I ended up having this conversation that was out of the blue to talk about the things with my concerns about this student and bring it up to the grandmother, which we then addressed with that student in the moment and kind of corrected some things, got some expectations out that we were all on the same page now, instead of me having this information of like, this student is not doing what they're supposed to, having something that they shouldn't, and the grandmother addressing it with the student directly right away. And then later, with the student not present, I found out that this student, even though I've been coming down a little hard on them, just because they're not doing what they're supposed to this week, that student was going home and actually telling their grandmother that I am a safe person, that I am someone that they can come to and talk to. And even though I'm doing this warm strict of trying to hold them accountable and have them be where they're supposed to be, and in the moment, they're not very happy with me about it, but they are seeing me as a safe and trusted adult. And that to me filled me with such purpose and filled me with such, like, it just made me feel like that moment was aligned. It made me feel like that moment where I was trying to avoid or trying to escape a feeling, and I can't even tell you what the emotion is, but I just felt like there was this restlessness of like, oh, I need to go move and do something and escape and get out of here and indulge in a beverage of choice, non-alcoholic beverage. Let me preface that. I'm not going to drink during my school day, but just escape and avoid and not be present with my feelings. And when I dismissed that and I actually was present and stayed present with myself, I was then directly put in alignment with who I needed to talk to. Again, I didn't know that this grandmother was coming into school. I didn't know that I was going to have this conversation, but I knew that there were some things that I probably needed to address with this student, and we did, and everybody got on the same page. And then I was able to get some feedback that I probably wouldn't have gotten. And again, that just nourished my soul. So ultimately, I think the big takeaway here is to surrender and stay with and be present in what you are feeling and not give into the feeling of wanting to escape or avoid. Because really, ultimately, when you surrender into what you're trying to escape or avoid and you're present with it, I think that really can be a portal and bring you into alignment with your authentic self, bring you into alignment with my purpose. I felt very much fulfilled in my purpose of why I am teaching and why I'm doing what I'm doing currently at the high school. And so it can bring you more into alignment with your authentic self. It can bring you more into alignment with taking more aligned action. So I just wanted to hop on and share that. If this resonates with you, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you feel like this is medicine for someone else, please go ahead and share it. And if you want more consistent content like this coming to you, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, happy healing, happy sticking with the icky. I like that. Maybe I'm going to use that again. Happy sticking with the icky, and that brings you into more authentic alignment with your authentic self and taking aligned action. So happy healing, and I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for listening to the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose with Brittany Bigley. The Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose is part of the Live Bigley community, giving you the tools and resources so that you can live the life you were born to lead.